I mean, everyone knows it is, in fact, the Portaloo outside the university.
Yeah, it's Portal at the Opera. Yeah.
In shadows we lurk, in shadows we play. This is Night Shift.
welcome Joel, Byronix Sex Exile, and many other things as well. So I did sort of very much big up your involvement in the event in the sort of preview I did last time, which is quite rightly so, because I think you made quite considerable sort of impact on the scene over the last few years, and you've done 150 shows and more now.
Indeed.
As I was
155 shows.
155, you know, that's like something or other. Yeah, so
easy, really, it's a wasp in the ointment, so what they're saying is.
So obviously, Byronix Sex Exile has released a fair bit of music, and the last one, you say, it was kind of towards the Dracula theme, yes?
Yeah, I mean, it was, well, obviously done so many conceptually themed pieces over the past 10 years or so that it was inevitable that they're going to be a Dracula album. And that's basically what it was. It basically was the story of Dracula retold, if you like, or told again.
As opposed to Dracula Untold.
Exactly, yes. Dracula told. Or Untold is also the Dracula told yet again. So it was, that was the idea. So most of last year was vampire themed material, which seemed a good idea at the time, I suppose. But yeah, there's like 2 tours for Song from the Blood. The album sounded really good, and
I was going to remark on that. I do think it's probably the most varied and most engaging work I've heard from you, in my personal opinion, as Byronix Sex Exile. It is, to my mind, the best of your releases, because I found it really exciting and interesting that there was more variety than normal. I mean, not that it's like totally all the same thing, but I felt you explored some really interesting areas, I think. And what was it that sort of made you sort of, maybe on occasion, sort of seemingly being a more electronic band than? I
mean, thank you for that compliment. I like, it'd be good to hear you dig the album. But I mean, in terms of it's simply just the way the songs.
Yeah, it's just how things happen to fall.
That was it. It's about a matter of what the material is. So you kind of, in your mind, you kind of know that we're going to do. I sort of knew what the title track would have to sound like, and what the song about the bride would have to sound like, and would have to be kind of exciting, have to be kind of like dancey. And I mean, it's good to have a rationale to do that sort of stuff. But I suppose the kind of trade-off would be that I'd already got a bit bored of kind of tailcoat rock, if you like. Kind of like all the white shirt and tailcoats and candelabra stuff. It's very theatrical, but to sort of limit the kind of things that you can do in terms of the content and form and everything else. So I think we've talking the year before last, I did Future Battlements, which obviously was kind of broad and fresh and not themed, and then Attacking the Sun, which obviously delved into a whole load of different influences and so forth, and wasn't cobwebs and candelabras and so forth. And I definitely thought that was moving in an interesting direction. And then you get MP Behind and Wilts last year, which was obviously the kind of harpsichord based album, which was exploring the kind of like the Gothic politics of the first wave of Walpole and Beckett and so forth. But I kind of, because I was expecting more of a reaction to that, I kind of overcompensated to the vampire stuff, and if you like.
I know you've said you're kind of intrigued or interested to sort of explore sort of, if you like, escaping goth in terms of like where you can play other environments.
Yeah, I think it's it's important to be able to go in different directions from a central place, if you like.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, if you back yourself into a corner, then you end up walking into a wall in perpetuity. Goth scene, I think there is a real glass ceiling you get to in relation to where you can go and what gigs you can get. Getting European shows is like unicorn dust, or like something. You know, it's becoming, you know, more or less impossible for British bands to get those slots. That also becomes a very self-fulfilling prophecy in relation to there's nowhere else you can go from certain venues and certain festivals. It's not a matter of being defeatist. It's a matter of trying to find things to keep you interested. That always has to be the.
And ultimately, it has to interest the performer.
Ultimately, you got to keep on keeping on, haven't you? So you have to find a way to keep yourself interested and engaged.
The next album, The Last of the Goths, is that name a sort of play on words, so to speak, or, you know, is it meant to be more literal, so to speak?
Kind of linking Goth to its kind of Jacobin origins, basically, and all the romantic influences of the old first radicals, and linking that to underdog revolutionary spirit of the whole thing in its truest sense, of course. That's the idea. So it's more of a process, if you like. Both the tour and the album, and the next tour and the next album, we're part of exploring those ideas.
The thing is, I just wondered if there was a sort of certain knowing provocative nature in the name, you know, just if you were, yes, I just wondered if you were just sort of poking at people somewhat with the name in a deliberate.
I was, you know, there may be a element of that. There's been the last of the true believers in the old school, basically, and what that's all about. It's often just how generally fractured the scene is, and Britain is generally, and it's very hard to make those links of solidarity and community that we would have taken for granted even 5 or 7 years ago. Really, it's something which is optimistic and rebellious, and something which is fresh, which is what I'm trying to do. So it'll be a combination of something more stripped down and basic, and something which is more Jacobin and medieval and poetic.
Do you think there is sort of any room at any point to sort of incorporate perhaps a more influence of your past with like Action Direct? Do you think you could sort of maybe sort of Byronix Sex Exile goes a bit industrial punk, whatever? I'm just sort of curious if you think that could ever sort of fit in with what you do, if that sort of influence of the past could possibly creep in, you think?
Well, I've been thinking. I've considered doing World of Tour AD songs in the set. Ones that would fit in the kind of direction. I mean, again, it's like how people kind of dumb down ideas. I think people looked at action directors, shouty, camo-netted, combat-trousered guys with mohawks and hamsickled everywhere, and BSE is a guy in a frilly shirt, you know, doing love songs. I mean, these aren't, you know, they're very unfair characterizations of both projects. Because in a way, BSE is about the relationship between art and culture and politics in the same way that Action Direct was. And of course, I'm very proud of the work I did in Action Direct in terms of the whole project. I think it was in absolute shambles, but in the work that I'm very proud of what I did. Well,
I
most
mean,
of what I did.
I remember
Anyway.
some very good moments with Action Direct. I mean, you know, Action Direct and Byronix Sex Exile played my first festival, so, you know.
Indeed. There definitely are some good AD songs that I wouldn't mind playing again, but I definitely feel it's the sheer rigmarole of having a band, which is difficult.
I mean, I've been told that when I've sort of, because in recent times I've had something of a significant habit of being more solo than having anyone else with me, but people have said that they think it is a detriment to a performance to not have a band. But I mean,
this is a very, very it's a real can of worms. It's a can. You have opened this can of worms.
Oh dear!
And we're now officially going there. People do have appear to have a preference for bands and solo acts, though we all know that isn't the case. Solo acts are also quite popular in the moment right as well, even if they have a backing band to do it. But on Goth, Goth and Industrial are two scenes where there'll be a preponderance of people with a singer and someone miming with an unplugged.
Yeah, and the thing is, that is something I'd consider. I thought
to make up. Yeah, to make up the numbers.
Why not just have someone pretending they're playing when everything's just coming out of my laptop anyway? I mean, I think we need to get on and mention Revamped as well, coming up in about 2 weeks roughly, as we speak.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is Revamped is the Vampire-related festival that Goth City, by me, organising Bradford, which is mainly held in the Midland Hotel, which is where Henry Irving, the governor, died, with his, whilst his manager, Warren Bram Stoker, looked on. Because that is the Masquerade Ball on the Friday and the World Dracula Day lecture on the Saturday lunchtime, and then bands at the One in Trial Club after that.
Yes.
And you did the halftime show last year.
Indeed, I was the first one ever to do a halftime show, which kind of ushered in this new appearance gig to go with it at the 1 in 12 Club. You've got Social Youth Cult headlining, I believe, and you've got
we've gone for a stacked bill of good new or young or up and coming acts. It's in Social Youth Cult and Art Gallery and Stock Image and Verdant Butcher, who I think you gave.
I gave them their debut in November last year at my festival.
Yeah.
Always on the lookout for sort of new and interesting people that can bring something different. They absolutely do.
Yeah, and your party shoes are being filled by a Short Dark Stranger who's doing a halftime show at the Ball this year, and of course DJ Paramancer providing the tunes. And Dr. Matthew Cheeseman doing the lecture as well. So all good stuff. So, and we've got the prices are recessing busting £35 for the whole festival,
which is thoroughly bargainous. We've got Goth City 10th anniversary coming up, as well as my own promotion for Night Shift 10 years. That's Goth City taking place in October.
Yep, indeed. We're doing Revamp for the last time, doing Goth City for the last time, Ravensburg Goth Festival online via the sea. Probably not the last time, but it's hard to tell these things. And then next year, got something completely new coming down the pipeline in the venue that we wanted to go back to for a long time, and it costs more than the national debt to book it, but we've got it.
Yes.
So we'll be able to to do something new and interesting.
And I happen to know what it is, but I'm not going to tell and reveal everything to anyone every year. Right, anyway, so yes, I say we definitely end it there. And so, yeah, thank you for your time. And and also for agreeing to come along to play my sort of 50th birthday party, basically. I know it's billed as a goth festival.
I'm looking forward to it. I have to book the whole weekend in Doncaster, Doncaster's finest, cheapest, least stabbiest.
All right, we shall end.
Thank you very much for your support as ever, and good luck with your wonderful show.
And obviously, thank you for all your support for me over the 15 years, near enough we've known each other now, so but one of the few people I can rely on, and I really appreciate it. So thanks a lot, and
likewise.
And good luck with everything, and I will see you in about 2 weeks or something at Revamped anyway.
Oh, excellent. Good stuff.
All right, bye for now then.
Cheers, Guff.
must head high flying. 7th Street, hour 3, 4 minutes, a blank mind disease. Now, nothing is discovered. Now, not even born. Pulsing darkness is grey.
In the cathedral, stained glass eye, brace. Open a portal in my chest, pouring cosmic rays. Ruby rings fall through holes in my chest. Secrets unlocks.
drifting sands won't hold you. They're not the ones to guide you on. Take your pain, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures sleep, where the vultures sleep. Take your grave, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures sleep, where the vultures
what a beautiful ass. And it all breaks down at the low glass. Got hitch in my head. She's universal, spinning me round. She's coming over me. Yeah.
seem to find the lightning flashing in my head, 'cause I have lost my spark. Conjure me a fairy tale, 'cause I have lost the will to find the wind to blow my sail from
again, one quick word, you know, I know it's not a super trans people showcase or anything, but again, I just want to help where I can in a situation. Yes, there's plenty of other good causes like anti-racism and all manner of things, but I just felt this was on such a rise, the transphobia, that I really wanted to help in the fight against it. You just choose a cause sometimes and go with it, and I mean, it's because I've known many wonderful trans people, and there are some playing my event, and it's just people just wanting to live their lives how they feel they should be, and you know, all these rulings from the High Court, and the government's yet to make a proper statement about them, and there's so much confusion and hate that is so much on the rise. I just want to do a little bit what I can to help redress the balance by saying, let's stop hating people who are just trying to be people. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to say, and we're going to support Mermaids with any profits made from this event. As I've said before, 50% goes to Mermaids until costs are paid, then 100% goes to Mermaids after the costs. So there you go.